My wife was very worried if I was going to come to Australia, I would not bring it out here.
You were not.
But right for 1 year, myself, I was very interested to go back. But within the time, I couldn't afford to go back. And any money I was earning, I was sent it back to my wife to look after the child and help in the house with my parents. As a matter of fact, my parents, they find them more, was disappointed, very sorry, because we left 4 children from the house suddenly, and they were worried very much. My wife stayed with them and take care. They take care for her, and she was happy to stay with them.
The younger brother was still there, is that correct?
George was still there.
Third George was still
George was still there.
Yeah?
Well,
They left
George
George
was still
the
in the
youngest
village.
George πήγαινε στο high school, ήταν στο σχολείο.
Yeah, he was at high school.
He was going to high school.
I think he was the only one that did go to high school.
Yeah.
He was
Well, he
he
was
was
the only one left in the village when they all left.
He was going to the high school in Paphos
Paphos.
και έπρεπε να στείλουμε και χρήματα από εδώ να τον κάνουμε help για να τελέψει το high school. The parents, they are anyhow.
So how did all you and your sisters feel when it was time to leave the village with your
was very sorry
from your parents?
Well, very sorry, my parents, and very sorry ourselves. But the fact because we left the village, which knew everybody, suddenly disappeared. Ο παπάς χτυπούσε την καμπάνα να πάμε να μας τα λάβει, γιατί το λεωφορείο ήταν εκεί να μας πάρει στο λίμασο όλοι στο ship.
The priest rang the bell to bring you down to the bus.
I'm going to give him Holy Communion.
The church bells, the ringing, and the whole village, they come up the place where the ship was, the bus was there. The pick, it was no bus, it was 41 αυτοκίνητο.
Truck.
Truck.
It was no special bus, it was just 41 αυτοκίνητο που μεταφέρει στα φίλια στο factory.
She was probably feeling pretty bad
Anyhow,
at the time. Say goodbye to your
by
father.
that way,
Does Monica remember that?
they went to, πήραμε το πλοίο και το first stop was το post site. Εκεί στο post site έπρεπε να περιμένουμε 1.5 day, 2 days, να έρθει το άλλο το ship που θα μας παραλάβει να έρθουμε στην Αυστραλία. Εμέναμε στο post site 2.5 days, and then the ship came and picked us and we ran into Australia.
Can I just ask you, Dad, how old was Thilfilachti at the time?
Eh?
How
what
old
year did
were
they
you
leave?
and how old was Thilfilachti?
I'll tell you, Jack.
It is 3 years difference.
What time did you come to Australia? 1947, didn't we say?
Όλοι μαζί ήρθαμε.
Okay, Dad was 30.
Jack was 30.
Dad was 30.
You were 30 when you left
How
Greece.
old was, how many years between you and Thilfilachti? 3 years. So
3
your
years.
father, Alki, was 27.
You-
And the 2 women
Well,
are younger still than Thilfilachti, so
Maria was 24. She was born. She was 23.
My wife
Okay.
immigrated out here
No.
after close to 2 years.
Yeah. No, we're still.
What?
No, you're still at Port Said. Go
You're
back
still
there.
coming. You've arrived in Fremantle with all of the 2 girls and the 2 boys. What did you do from there? The boat went round
After
to where?
Fremantle, we came to Melbourne.
Melbourne. What happened there?
By
From
boat?
Melbourne,
Yeah.
my brother Harry
Was waiting.
came up,
Yes, came.
Came
to
from
Melbourne,
Queensland. He flew down here.
pickups,
Yeah.
and by train went back to Bowen.
You all went up by train. The
From
5
Melbourne
of
to
you.
Bowen.
From Melbourne to Bowen.
Yeah.
Good trip.
How did you
So,
feel? What was it like on the boat coming
well-
out with your brothers and sisters?
Well,
your sister and your
Once
brother.
we came to Melbourne, my sisters stay with another friend of us, friend of my brother, I should say, and το ίδιο χωριό.
Okay, so hang on. When you all didn't go up together to Bowen with your sister,
Yeah, we stayed in one week in.
you stayed in 1 week in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Then you all left together in the train
Yeah.
with Zacharias.
Yeah, we take it to more than 2 days to go up there.
Okay, okay.
Dad,
Yeah,
how many
9
years? How many years had it been before since you had seen Phil Harry? Did you recognise him when he came to Melbourne to pick you up?
I knew my
You recognised him, but did the others recognise him?
Of course they recognized. He was grown. He was old when he came out here,
They knew.
and
Who was old when he came out?
he was.
Harry.
We knew him because we finished our school more or less.
They
each
didn't
one
know
by
Phil
year.
Zachariah,
We
okay.
finished school by
Zacharias. Phil Harry came out, he went.
1938.
Righto.
Oh, Harry Sister 1938.
And Phil
I
Zachariah?
was,
Feels like he came along before.
He was out here in the 20s, Phil Zachariah.
myself, I didn't know if my brother he got away from the army and running around in Australia from Queensland to Melbourne and all over the places for 2 years before the war finished. Matter of fact, more than for 3 or 4 years. He never went back to his shop, but he was going sneaking there and they get some money from his
The till.
partner, because he was allowed the government to run
Deserter, Jack.
to run the business until he come back. If he's come back from the army or if he passed away there, that's bad luck. But as I said, he didn't go anywhere. He running around.
Hang on, we're in the train and we've gone to Home Hill.
He was
to
going,
Bowen.
He was going.
No,
as far as-
you and your sisters and your brother.
We stay in Bowen with my sisters and my brothers, myself and my other brother.
Theo.
But within the time, έπρεπε να πάνε να μένουν εκεί πάνω στο άλλο brother, τον Ζαχαρία, και πήγαν εκεί, καθίσαν 6 μήνες εκεί
At
πάνω.
Malanta.
6 μήνες εκεί
Malanda.
πάνω, στο
All of you went up to Malanda. You stayed and worked with Harry.
Yes,
The other 3 went up to Malanda.
yeah.
Right.
Once they stay there for 6 or more
Months.
months, within the time, after 4 or 5 months, I went up there myself for 1 month.
Yep.
What did your sisters do in Malanda?
We don't know.
They worked in the shop with Phil
More or
Zachariah.
less, they don't do much. They help in the coffee. Bit of this and bit of that. They work in the coffee. What they do, that's. But they stay 6 months there. Within that 6 months, they've been getting letters from Cyprus. What happened with the Julie and Mary? They find anybody to get married. Is there a chance to get married or something like that?
Προξενιά.
I said to my brother Harry, listen to me. I said to him, when I went up there, I stayed 1 month myself. I didn't like the place.
You did or you didn't?
I didn't like the place.
You didn't like Malanda.
No, it was a small town there. And
Uh,
myself, I never been used to this business.
After
So even in the town, I didn't like to stay, but I forced to stay.
So did your brother pay you well?
Yeah?
Did you get paid by your brother? Wages?
The first wages I get was £5, 15 shillings.
£5, 15 shillings.
still knows his way.
One week's work, 7 days a week, 12 hours every day.
Well, that's what it is.